What's going on, people? It's Bobby and welcome back to Atomfall. In this video I'm going to be showing you where you can find all of the game's crafting recipes. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Right, so the Shiv recipe can be found in Slattendale. It's actually at the Outlaw camp. Okay, so you'll find me here stood next to the radio tower, which is literally directly above the camp. From the radio tower, in order to get to the Shiv recipe, you can literally just make your way down the stairs here and then just around to the right, and the recipe is right here on the table. Okay, so that's where you can find the recipe. There is also one more spot that we can get it from, and it is from the trader over here at the very top of Slattendale, Molly. Okay, so we're going to make our way over there and I'll show you how you can trade for it as well. Right, so once you get to the camp, so just again one more time, it's at the very top of Slattendale. If you follow the road from Wyndham Village along the top, it's just here on this little corner there. You can speak to Molly, and in her inventory she will be able to trade you the Shiv recipe. Worth noting that it's not obviously the most expensive item in the game, but recipes can be a little bit expensive, so make sure you've got items to actually trade for. You can find the Molotov cocktail recipe in a number of locations in the game. The first of which is here in Slattendale. It's at the Outlaw camp again, alright, within bunker L5, which is just basically right underneath where the radio tower is. So we're going to start at the radio tower just to the right hand side of Slattendale. From the radio tower, make your way down the stairs and then just around to the left here, and this is actually bunker L5, but it looks like the garage for the Outlaw camp. So make your way in, and on the right hand wall is a pinboard that has the Molotov cocktail recipe on it. As I said, this recipe can be found in a couple of locations, so let's get into the next one straight away. The next location that we can find the Molotov recipe is at the Watermill Cellar in Casterfell Woods. So if we have a look at the Casterfell Woods map here, straight from the middle, it's just down and to the left. It's right here on the map. The coordinates are 22.5 east, 86.7 north. If you have any of the other icons on the map, it's right next to the sewer tunnels, also right above the speaking cave, or from the bottom left corner, the castle ruins. If you just head northeast the entire time, then you will eventually hit the Watermill Cellar. Once you get here, it's this broken down building here. You're just going to enter through the back. There will be a tripwire, so watch out. And then just enter in the double barn doors there. When inside, all we've got to do is head to the back wall, turn left and go behind these little boxes, and then squeeze through the gap. Once through the gap, you're going to crawl through the hole in the wall, and then we can see the Molotov recipe on the right here on the wall, so you can just grab it right there. The third location that you can find the Molotov cocktail recipe is at the Grendel's Head in Wyndham Village. So if we have a look here from the village green, alright, which is the very center of the village, if you just look south, it's this building right here. So from the village green south and slightly to the right, it's this building right here. So you're just going to want to head inside, and you're going to speak to the guy behind the bar, and he will actually sell the Molotov cocktail recipe. So if we go and speak to Alf behind the bar, then we can make our way over, and as you can see, he actually sells the Molotov's crafting recipe. The makeshift grenade recipe can be found by coming to the Slate Mine Caves in Slattendale. There's two entrances. The easiest one is if you go right to the very start of the game, so the bottom left of Slattendale, the bunker that you come out of, you can head to the right and go all the way up the hill, and there'll be an entrance to the Slate Mine Caves there. There is another entrance, however. If you look where the Outlaw camp is on the right hand side and just go south to where the lining of the cliff is, there's another entrance right there to the Slate Mine Caves as well. So we're going to head on in. Now, once you get inside, you're looking for a guy called Reg Stanfield. If you go to the very central cavern of these caves, you'll be able to find him quite easily. There you go, here he is. He's got a big torch on his head. So this big central cavern here, the left-hand side of it, Reg is just standing there waiting. And if you barter with him, he will have on him the makeshift grenade. This grenade recipe can actually be found in one other location that I will show you right now. The final location for the makeshift grenade is in Atomfall Woods at the remote bunker. It's actually super easy to get to and super easy to find. It's just on top of one of the cliffs at the very top right of the Atomfall Woods map, basically right next to where the old mine is. Okay, so if you make your way to the top right of the map, the bunker entrance, like I said, is on top of the cliff, so you can just head on in. And then as you move forward, come around to the left here, and as you can see, the makeshift grenade recipe is just sitting there on the wall. The recipe for the sticky bomb can be found to the northeast of Atomfall Woods in the garden centre cellar. Okay, so if you look at the very top right of the Atomfall Woods map, you'll have the remote bunker, the old mill, and just below them is the garden centre. Once you get to the garden centre, this big stone building here, you're going to go over to the side of it. Try and avoid the traps if you can. And then inside this little set of doors here is the cellar. Once you get down into the cellar, just head forwards, and then to the right, there is a little crack you can squeeze through. And then the sticky bomb recipe is literally just sitting there on the table. Nice and easy, ready to take. The next sticky bomb location has us following a couple of steps, as it's actually inside of Agravine's lockbox, which is located in Slattendale. In order to open the lockbox, you're going to need a key. Now, the key is really easy to find. Okay, so it's actually located at the helicopter crash site in Slattendale, which is at the very bottom of the Slattendale map. You can find it by going to the bunker from the very start of the game and just coming up and to the right, and you'll end up at the helicopter crash site. Once you get here, head inside the helicopter, and there will be a private Dagonet. You're going to go on his person and actually just take the key from him. From here, we are actually going to make our way to this building here in the rail yard. Okay, so we're going to this building right here in the rail yard. I'll see you when we get there. Okay, so we have arrived here at the rail yard. Okay, it's just here up to my right here. So let's see if we can just climb up these rocks in order to get on the top where we need to be. And I'll show you one more time where it is on the map. So it's this building right here. It's basically just right below Wyndham Village. You'll have the rail yard, and it's this building right here. Once you get here, you're going to head over to this like metal shutter, and you can crawl underneath it. Okay, once you're underneath, on the left hand side, you will find Agravine's logbox. And inside is the sticky bomb recipe. Nice and easy. The painkillers recipe can be found in the watermill cellar in Atomfall Woods. It's just here on the map. Coordinates are 22.5 east, 86.7 north. It is just northeast of the castle ruins. And it's in amongst, as you can see here, like a bunch of like cliffs and rocks and things like that. Once you get here, you'll find this broken down building. Be careful on the entrance, because there will be a tripwire here for that trap. But once you get past it, just enter the cellar as you see me doing. Once inside, all you've got to do is head all the way to the back wall, turn to the right, and once you're through the doorway, turn right again. And the painkillers recipe is just sitting there on a little desk. The other location that you can find the painkillers recipe at is actually in Skethermore. We are at the Slate Mine Ruins. You can see the coordinates on the screen there, 37.3 east, 73.7 north. It is south from Wyndham Village and just to the left of the interchange and the protocol camp. Once you get here, okay, there's a building over to the side that is like completely burnt out. And inside you will find the body of Freya. And on Freya's body, you will have the painkillers recipe. So you can feel free to take that. Cornish pasty if you want. And yeah, there's your painkillers recipe. The combat stim recipe is going to require us to do a little bit of fighting in Skethermore to get to. It's actually located in the Protocol Workshop, which is at 38.0 east, 77.4 north. And it's actually just to the right hand side of the Wyndham Village entrance. Okay, once you get here, you will enter the bunker through the hatch here. And then, like I say, there are enemies in here. You are going to have to do some fighting, so come prepared with a weapon. Once you get in, head to the left. And you're going to head in here. And now we have to kill a bunch of enemies. I tend to sit in the corridors where you have only a couple of ways to get to you. That way you can just see everyone that's coming towards you, and it just gives you a little bit of an advantage as we move on. Here I'm just going to pull out this weapon so I can get rid of him. I'm just going to wait for the rest of the enemies to actually come to me now. Here's another one. Let's get rid of him. Should be a couple more, I believe. Yep. There's one there. There's another one there. And I think that might be all but maybe one. But we should be okay to move on at this point. So, once you've done that, I will show you where to go from the beginning again, because I don't... Oh yeah, I'll get rid of this guy. I'll show you where to go from the beginning again, because I don't want you to get lost. So, once you've dealt with all of the enemies, you've got the entrance there. So, head forwards, turn left, and if you do a right, and then a left immediately, you'll be in this little workshop area. And the combat stim is actually just on the table in the back left corner, right there. The explosive lure recipe is located within Casterfell Woods, next to a big Wickerman type statue. Okay, easiest way to find this is to go to the top left where the dam is, and then just look down slightly, and you can see this little circle with a tree-like symbol in the middle of it. Just here where we are now, right where this road curves, comes around and stops on the left hand side of the map. We're actually going to run up to the top of the hill where the statue is, and then inside the statue, there's a little ladder that will take us up, is actually the location of the recipe. So we're going to climb up here. Okay, and then inside of the statue, as you can see, is the explosive lure recipe just sitting on top of a crate. The radiation resistance recipe can be found within two different locations within Atomfall. The first of which is inside of Data Store Charlie within the interchange. In order to get to Data Store Charlie, you are first going to need to go in the Slattendale entrance and then make your way through, and Charlie is on the left. Okay. Once you've gotten here, you will need to power up the data store in order to actually go and get the recipe. So what you need to do that is come down the stairs, and this is where you will insert your battery here in order to power up the data store. Once it's powered up, it's worth noting that if you do this straight away, you will have to contend with ferals, but if you do this a little bit later on, then outlaws will take their place. Either way, climb down the ladder, and then you're going to run your way forwards here and into these orange doors here. From there, you're going to run all the way up the stairs. As you can see, I've already cleared this out and there's outlaws on the stairs dead. We're all the way up the stairs. Once we get up to the top, you're going to walk forward and go in the first doorway on the left. You will find the radiation resistance recipe sitting on the table in front of you. The other radiation resistance recipe is actually sitting in the vehicle storage bunker in Skedamore. So if you look to the right hand side of the Skedamore map, you've got the greenhouses right here, basically in the middle on the right hand side. And right below that is the vehicle storage bunker at 43.4 east, 74.6 north. So we're going to head inside. Inside there are some outlaws. I have already killed them, so you won't see me killing them in this video, but go in here with a weapon and with the idea that you are going to have to kill them. Make your way through this first door here, and this is the room that all the outlaws will be in. You can just kill them off one by one. And you're going to make your way through here and have a weapon at the ready, as there is a rat's nest in here. So I'm going to make my way over there. I'm going to shoot the nest to try and stop them spawning, and then just kill the ones that have spawned in. If you want to just like ignore the rats and grab the recipe, feel free. But anyway, once you've gotten rid of the rats, it's this guy here. The recipe you can see just underneath him. So if you search him, you can take the radiation resistance recipe. The nail bomb recipe can be found inside of the vehicle storage bunker within Skedamore. It's located on the right hand side of the map, right below where the greenhouses are, 43.4 east, 74.6 north. Once you head on inside, you are going to find a bunch of outlaws in here who shouldn't be too tough to kill, to be honest. I've already killed them in this video, so I'll just be running past. But in this room right here, that's where you'll find all of the outlaws that you will need to get rid of. Once you've gotten rid of them, head round to the left here, and where the radiation resistance recipe normally is, you're going to run through the room and actually climb through this hole in the wall. From there, you can just climb your way up, and then down low here, there's a part you can crawl through. Use your torch if you don't know where that is, or if you can't find it. You'll end up in this room, and once you do, you just need to run up the stairs, and attached to the pinboard there is the nail bomb recipe. The antidote recipe in Atomfall is really easy to find. It's actually just sitting inside of Data Store Bravo within the interchange. So Data Store Bravo can be found by accessing the interchange from Skedamore. Okay, so in the protocol camp here, just above it, is the interchange's entrance. Once you go inside, you just literally make your way forwards, and then you will come to the very start of Data Store Bravo. You just open this door, and the antidote recipe is literally just sitting there on the side of a server. Another location for the antidote recipe is actually inside of the protocol field station in Skedamore. It's basically in the very center of the map. It's right below the ruined hamlet. So here we go, 41.3 east, 74.9 north. So what you need to do for this one is you're going to have to make your way in, and you will need the signal redirector for this. So make sure you go and get that first. If you don't know how to get that, then it's in my tools video also on the channel. But head in, down to the end, turn left. And then to start off with, you're going to go in this door here to the left. And then you're going to pull out your signal redirector. Okay, you're going to switch that little electrical box over, and you're going to run past the door on the left and over to this little corner here, and you're going to also use it on this junction box there. From there, the door lock will be openable, and inside you will find the antidote recipe. The burn self recipe can be found really easily in Atomfall. It's actually just sitting in the Wyndham Village Hall. Okay, so if you have a look here, right in the middle of the village, you'll find the village hall. It's literally next to the village green. It's got a big flag above the door, so you can't really miss it. So once you enter, you're just going to head round to the very back of the building, and there'll be a little desk that just has the burn salve on it. So we'll head around the back of the building, like I said. And then there it is, burn salve recipe just sitting there on the desk. Another location that you can find the burn salve recipe is the Atomfall Dam control room, which is found just at the top left of the Atomfall Woods map. So as you can see here, Atomfall Dam, and the control room is literally, if you can see where this road comes up here and goes around, that is where the control room is, basically on this corner of the building itself. So you're just going to head up the stairs and into the control room, and then in the back left corner over here, the burn salve recipe is just sitting there on the pinboard. The poison bomb recipe can be found inside the castle ruins in Atomfall Woods. If you're looking for the castle ruins, it's just at the bottom left hand side of the map. It's really easy to find because it's literally as far bottom left as you can go. Once you get here, you're going to make your way inside. And then you're going to need something called the castle key if you haven't already been here and gotten it. You get that quite easily by heading inside and then turning to the left and making your way to the kitchen. The key's actually just sat on a countertop right here. Now I already have it in my inventory as I've already opened the door that it opens, but it will be right there on the countertop if you haven't got it already. Once you've grabbed that key, make your way through here to the right into the main concourse, and you're going to go behind the throne chair, and there's like a little puzzle looking thing on the wall. That's where you'll put the key in. From there, head on in, and you're going to head forwards around to the right, and then head straight down here. Have a weapon throughout this, as there are a lot of druids in this area. From here, you're going to just hop down the ladder. That should be low enough. And then you're just making your way down as low as you can possibly go. Alright, so if we go left here, down the stairs, as I said, there's a lot of druids down here, so have a weapon ready. There we go. And you're just making your way down towards the bottom. Okay. So just keep on going. We'll go around to the right here so we can keep getting lower and lower. Plenty of druids along the way, so just be ready for that. Let's get rid of him. And then as you get to this area here, you'll start seeing blue mushrooms on the walls. You're going to turn and look for one that has a body right below it. Alright, so it's like a wicker statue with all these blue mushrooms on it. And the body below it will have the poison bomb just on its person. So you can just loot the poison bomb from the body. Nice and easy. Another way to get the poison bomb recipe is to come to the trader camp in Atomfall Woods. Okay, this is found at the current location, 21.6 east, 89.5 north. And then when you get here, you're just going to speak to Billy Gorse, okay, and he actually has the poison bomb recipe available for trade, so you can just grab that off from there. The strange tonic recipe can be found in the castle ruins within Atomfall Woods. Castle ruins are really easy to find. It's at the very, very bottom left corner of the Atomfall Woods map. When you get to the main entrance, you're just going to make your way in. And in order to get to the strange tonic recipe, we are going to have to go and find the castle key. So you do that by running straight forwards and then through this little doorway on the left, all the way down to the end, and then turn to the right. And the castle key would actually be sitting right there on the countertop. I already have it in my inventory, which is why you can't see it, but it will be sitting right there on the countertop. Once you have that, run forwards out of the kitchen and to the right. Let's get rid of this guy. And then, hold on a moment. There we go. Out into the middle, like, concourse area here. Behind the main throne, you will insert the key there in that keyhole, and it opens up this doorway. From here, we can make our way in. There are a couple more enemies in here that we're going to take out just to get them out of our way. There we go. And then you can actually head into this room on the right. Once you're in here, the strange tonic recipe is just sitting there on the desk. Nice and easy. So there we go, guys. That is where you can find the locations of all of the recipes in Atomfall. Hopefully this video has helped. If it has, make sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.